Hello and welcome to the Tap Market Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Scarborough. I'm an entrepreneur who has started, acquired, and more importantly, is focused on growing companies. In this podcast, you'll hear from entrepreneurs about how they got their start, what their company is about, what has worked for them to get to this point, and how they plan to build their brands. Expect to find actionable tactics that you can use to grow your business and get motivated to get through the grind into a meaningful entrepreneurial outcome that will change your life. I'm thrilled to have you here. Be sure to follow us on YouTube and Instagram at Tap Market, and let me know if you've been listening to the podcast. I love connecting and hearing from you. All right, let's get to it. Hey guys, it's Troy from Tap Market. Excited to have Tony here today from Reforged. As everybody knows, here at Tap Market, we're talking with entrepreneurs in the daily grind, working on their customers, what's working, what's not working, getting their feedback, trying to continue to grow companies. Tony, super excited to have you on here. As a gym guy myself, a dad myself, all of the aboves, I love the product. I can't wait to hear this story and tell it to the audience here. Really excited to have you. Tell everybody, what is Reforged? How did you get here?
Well, first off, thanks, Troy, for having me. It really means a lot that you'd like to listen to our story. So as Troy said, my name is Tony. I'm the owner of Reforged. Reforged is a fitness for mental health brand where we essentially help people exercise out of depression. Essentially, this brand started based off my own story. About 12 years ago, I was an overweight, depressed, suicidal kid dealing with a lot of sleep insomnia. And I had trouble sleeping. I would try to fall asleep at like 11 o'clock. I would wake up at 3 a.m. and be wired. And it had a large impact on my mental health. And then especially, it was mostly in high school, dealing with it during puberty. All this stuff is going on, the hormones and everything like that. And I was just having these thoughts regularly of just taking my own life. And then one day I decided to vent my frustration to my own mother. And my mother listened, and she's more of the type of person that's like a hard ass. So she was like, let's do something about it. You're complaining about your weight. Let's go lose weight. And I started working out, and I absolutely hated it. But then over time, I started feeling better. And I was like, you know what? There's something here. And I just kept pursuing the feeling of feeling good. And then lo and behold, the weight loss came off, and like I was hooked. And 12 years later, I decided to pay it forward to the industry itself and create a fitness for mental health brand. And I essentially help guys exercise out of depression. Most of the guys I help out they have a couple 100 pounds to lose. One of the guys that I'm actually in our talk show, he was nearing 600 pounds. And so far he's lost about 140 pounds. So he's making some crazy progress. Super pumped for him. And essentially like the brand itself is providing that value. But then on top of that, we also sell supplements. So we have a pre-workout and a sleep supplement. They're getting a lot of traction on Amazon. And all we're doing is just providing that value. And then it's like, oh, by the way, we have a pre-workout and sleep supplement to help you on your journey. Try them out. Let us know how it goes. And the raving fans, even though we're still kind of small, we're building up. Those fans are monthly subscribers, and we obviously want that for the recurring revenue and stuff. So, just constantly providing that value. It's awesome. It's an awesome feeling to watch people have their mindset shift completely. They're dealing with those negative thoughts. And then now it's like, oh, I'm feeling those negative thoughts. I'm going to go lift the weights now. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I feel better as a result. I'm going to keep pushing this and keep challenging myself and pushing to see where I can go. And then from there, it kind of translates to every other aspect of their lives. And it's, like I said, it's an awesome feeling. It's my pleasure to help out the industry, essentially.
That's awesome. You mentioned a couple products that you have here. First off, so Reforged is the company name. You can find them at livereforged.com, and all of the social handles are essentially Live Reforged as well. Mm-hmm. You mentioned pre-workout as one of them. I'm sure there's a huge part of the community out there that hasn't used a pre-workout before. And maybe is on the fence. They've seen the ads. They've talked to people about it. They've seen people at the gym using it. Give that little bit of nugget that explains to people why use pre-workout beforehand. Because I think there's something here that people don't understand. I know myself personally that my pre-workout helps give me that boost of energy because I work out in the morning that I need that helps me sort of power through that workout when I'm coming in basically out of ketosis, right? I haven't really broken my fast, those types of things that are really technical. And we're trying to talk to a community that might not be as technical about working out. So give us a little bit of nugget on that pre-workout, why people are doing it, how that helps them.
Yeah. So essentially me coming from the background, and I'll kind of work my way backwards with this in that When I first started this brand, I knew I wanted to go towards and tailor myself towards mental health. But then I also had the knowledge and experience based on trial and error of like supplements. I've tried loads of supplements. I still purchase supplements for my competitors today. I'm very meticulous about the supplement facts and the ingredients and stuff like that. And essentially, I wanted to create a brand that has efficacious dosing, which is like if based on studies, this dose elicits a specific response to your body. And I really wanted to tailor it to that. But then I also wanted to get that aspect of the mental health stuff in that our pre-workout has nootropic components in it that help with focus, help with mood and overall well-being. And then we also have, the pump products like the citrulline. We also have beta alanine. Beta alanine itself is one of the things I like to mention a lot to my guys, because if they're depressed and they don't want to get off the couch, but they know if they go to the gym, they're going to get a good workout session in, they'll feel better as a result of that. I usually tell them, hey, get ready, pop that pre-workout, it has beta alanine. When a beta alanine hits around 1.5 grams in a single dose, your face starts to tingle, your hands start to tingle. And it's a normal response of having that. It's called the paresthesia. And it's like an effect that, if you have a little bit more beta alanine, it makes your face tingle, gets you fired up and ready to go. In addition to that, it also helps with exercise performance. And we put that in there just so what I call essentially our mood lifters, the guys that are working towards and exercising for their mental health, is if they're depressed and on the couch, they take it, they're fired up, they just go straight to the gym. They don't have to second guess it. There's no like contemplating it. There's no like battling your depression. Well, you're essentially battling your depression demons, but in that certain moment in time, you kind of brush that aside because you're like, I need to exercise this off. I need to sweat it out of me because I'm super fired up. And that's one of the positions that we have with our pre-workout. And I'm really trying to balance it out with the efficacious dosing, the benefits of it, the transparent label. We have a couple ingredients in our product, but then I just want to show the people that are getting started on their journey. It's like we have this pre-workout that has 4 or 5 ingredients on it. This is what each ingredient does, and this is how it's going to help you on your journey. And that's been very helpful for our guys. So.
Yeah, I really like that. And the product for Reforged, it's a byproduct outcome of what you're doing, which is really sort of the meaningful work, the work that you got into this for, I think, which is the community, right? Mm-hmm. And we talk about that a lot on this podcast because the community is where entrepreneurs start. So I want to make sure I give you a few minutes here to talk specifically about that, how people are working inside your community now, because you're targeting a very specific audience that's meaningful to you and meaningful to connect with them, because you know that long term, if you can get them out there working out, that it's going to have long-term effects on their mental health. The products are just a byproduct, mm-hmm. like with many of these other companies that come out of how can you help them, right? But talk about that community and how you're serving them.
So a lot of our community members are people that have not really exercised before, or they've exercised on and off and they never were consistent with it. Essentially, what we do with our community is really focus on the small things. It's like we pursue 1% growth every day. I usually tell my guys, like, if you're not motivated, just get 10 to 15 minutes in. That's all you need. And next thing you know, let's say, for example, you commit to the 10 to 15 minutes and you're like, maybe I can go on 15 more minutes. And then you just add to that. And it's essentially doing the little things, just getting your body moving. I usually talk about moderate intensity physical activity because research supports that if you have like 2.5 to 3 weekly hours of that intensity, that helps with your mood and well-being. And that's a good ballpark for a lot of people for wellness. It's essentially a mix of cardiovascular movements and weightlifting. I think the combination of the two is very beneficial for everybody. Going back to one of the mood lifters I've been helping on his journey, the one that's lost over 140 pounds, he started off by just making it a goal to walk 10,000 steps every single day. And that was it. He just started with that and he was losing weight. He was getting this momentum and he's like, all right, from time to time, I'm going to go to the gym, or time to time, I'm going to break that and go to 15,000 steps. Lately, he's got a new job. He's been working a lot of manual labor. So it's a little bit more, physical activity in there. But then also he works a trucking job. So we talked about it recently, about 2 weeks ago. He was talking about how he decided, you know what? I'm also going to strengthen myself during this. I'm already moving barrels and stuff like that. I'm going to add a little bit more intensity to it. And he has a truck and he's like, I'm going to do liftgate push-ups. They're going to start super elevated and I'm going to get those push-ups in, work her way down, get some more push-ups in, just get stronger in that regard. And he has a goal and he's just setting it. is losing the weight as a result of it. And that's essentially what we do. It's like, if you're sitting at home, have workout equipment around you, get some exercise in, and then maybe next thing you know, that gravitates towards you going to the gym. You just started that activity and you're like, you know what? I want to get a better workout. So I'm going to go to the gym now because I got that momentum. And that's all it is. It's like small steps every day, just build up upon it. Like I mentioned, like we have a pre-workout and sleep supplement. You don't have to use the products. My whole goal is to essentially help you guys on your journey. If you want to buy the products, great. If not, no big deal to me. But as a result, most people buy the products and support it, and they're raving fans as a result of it because it's like I'm providing value firsthand.
Yeah, I think it's really trying to create that new behavior, that repetitious behavior, right? And people put that going to the gym on a pedestal that they can't mentally figure out the commitment to it. And it doesn't have to be that big.
Yeah.
The bigger piece is doing something every day. I forget who had mentioned this, but they were in a similar sort of coaching community environment. And for the first week, they just had their new community members who found it to be daunting to just drive to the gym and go there and go inside and just get a glass of water and leave. And it's just that breaking the behavior to doing that. And then you build on it. It's like, well, I'm here. I'll do a 12-3-30 walk, which is a 12 incline, 3 pace, 30 minutes. It's the perfect sort of like everybody low impact can do it sort of walk, but it's also like a fat burning exercise. So it's breaking the behavior. And that's why the pre-workout, I think, is a great first product, just because it gives that little bit of kick.
Yeah.
Somebody takes that and drives to the gym, they're going
to do everything.
It's enough to get them going. So mostly selling on Amazon. What are you doing to get your customers? Like, I think a lot of people have this preconceived notion that Amazon is a black box, right? That you're just selling on Amazon. You don't get customer data. It's hard to own the customer and grow. What are you doing to get the consistency in sales that you're working with? Maybe was there a place that you started that got you to where you were that was off Amazon? Just talk about sort of how you got sales-wise from zero to where you are today.
So at first we started with Shopify, and we started driving a lot of traffic that we had organically to Shopify. Once we started launching on Amazon, though, all of the customers that we had started going to Amazon for the Prime benefits, the free shipping. Sure, Amazon takes their cut, but I noticed as a result, my customers were buying more regularly, if that makes sense. And I don't know if it contributed to the content creation and providing that value, but I just felt like, it doesn't require that much thought of you going to someone's website or anything like that. You just go to Amazon and everything's on Amazon. It's like the Google for shopping, essentially. And that's where a lot of my customers would go to. And from there, I started expanding outwards into doing the Amazon PPC advertising. When we generate sales, a lot of our products would have a QR code sticker on it where it's like, one of the QR variations we have is, are you feeling depressed? Scan this now. And it's a link to our email list. And it's essentially, here's a free ebook. Here's a video course we made. I'm actually going to revise it because I just recently made a video that I think would provide a lot more value to our customer base. But just doing that, getting an email list and just providing value on that email list. A lot of my emails are they're not too salesy. I do like a sales email once a week, but 2 other emails is just providing that value constantly and building that relationship. And I noticed that in doing this, they would follow our social media accounts, get in contact with us, and they would just support the brand. And they, when they were so, some of our customers are just so adamant on supporting us. They're like, where should we buy the products where it's cheaper for you with, the expenses and stuff? And usually for me, I'm like, I would love for you could buy it on Shopify, great. But if it's a lot more efficient for you to go on Amazon, I'm okay with that. Because on top of that, usually with our Amazons, we drive traffic through our email list and our social media through attribution links. So we drive traffic directly to Amazon. Amazon rewards that traffic. It helps with ranking, and it basically helps in the long term. So it essentially pays off for us in the long run. And a lot of what we're doing now is actually going from driving Google ads directly to Amazon. So what I've been testing right now is it's pretty difficult with pre-workouts or supplements in particular, finding a low-cost keyword and driving traffic from Google basically directly to Amazon. if those generate sales based on the attribution links we provide, that actually helps boost the ranking. It helps with Amazon. You get a brand referral bonus on top of it. So it saves you a little bit more money on Amazon. Just a constant momentum. And what's really cool about it is Amazon itself is rewarding that external traffic. So when you're driving external traffic directly to the website, it will basically give you this brand banner on top of, your listing. That's like, this brand also has these products. So it's basically selling your products on top of that. And you get if you include all the products in the attribution, you get a brand referral bonus based on any of the products they purchase. So if they decide, you know what, I'm going to go purchase a sleep supplement instead, you get the commission out of that. And it's just providing that experience. What I've been testing out a lot is driving direct to Amazon. And I'm also driving traffic to my blog post to Amazon. And I've been testing out the blog post portion of it because when I have people go on my website, the opt-in comes in and it's like, hey, you're feeling depressed. Here's this, sign up here, sign up for it. I provide this whole experience. Our email responder is essentially blog posts that we've created that just provide value in that whole experience for our customers. And, through that process, that's when they're like, I'm hooked. Like, I'm here for this brand. They're providing me all this knowledge and information. Like, they want to see me succeed. I'll buy a product from them, And it's just that constant momentum. And that's what we've been seeing the best results from.
So I'm going to dig into a couple of those things there because I know your background and I know you have so much knowledge in this space that it's going to be helpful. Number one, you mentioned a QR code on your product. This is a neat little trick. I was actually just talking about this with Miss Mary's Mix on their podcast. Sort of gave them this. I think they're going to try it on the products they send in for FBA. They have sinless syrups, coffee syrups, and they didn't really have a great way to convert people from Amazon onto their list. Mentioned putting a QR code on there to come and get access to a PDF sort of recipe book, if you will. So having this value creator to try to capture your customer into your list, even if you're still going to send them back to Amazon, which is totally awesome and fine, is great because owning that list is really important. Because if Amazon were to go sideways on you for any reason, you'd have at least an asset that you could continue to try to serve that customer with in the meantime. On that QR code, do you have any idea really on the conversion clicks to purchases, even if it was rough?
It's, oh man, I don't know the exact percentages, but it's very low. I will say that it's very low.
And that's totally normal. So we do at Forrest and Harold, we do a postcard insert in a lot of our packages to get people to come back and buy again, right? We've acquired that customer. Now we don't have to spend as much with Google and Facebook and other avenues to acquire them.
Sure.
So we're willing to give them a discount. And we try to use the wording that talks about family and friends to spread that word. Maybe you already have a wallet, so you don't really need another one, but you've got a discount code that you could give to your brother or your dad, or you could buy one for your brother or dad, and you'll come back and buy. That gets like, if we get a 2% conversion rate on that with a captive customer, I mean, we're making money on the amount it takes to do that, right? You're printing that label on the Reforged bottle anyways.
Yeah.
Cost of that is nothing. I mean, 2%, is that a fair goal for people?
I think it's reasonable.
The attribution link, huge fan. This is one of the better programs Bezos came up with to get maybe past Mars to the next planet, because it's definitely useful, but it's definitely keeping people off of Shopify and keeping them coming back to Amazon. In our category, it's a 10% kickback. I don't know if it's the same for you. I think it's different for different people, but this is huge. So if you spend X dollars on driving traffic from, let's say, a Google ad or driving people to your blog, like you mentioned, and then hoping they click through to Amazon on your attribution link, if you're spending $1 to do that and you're saving $1 on your Amazon fees, essentially, that's basically like free.
Yeah.
It's not free, but it's cheap value to drive the traffic there. And I think you only have to have brand registry. That's the only requirement to do attribution linking, I believe, correct?
Yeah, I believe you're right. Yeah.
So don't gloss over that. That's smart and huge.
Mm-hmm.
And the more traffic you can do there, nobody knows exactly what kind of benefit you get, but it's going to drive your organic rankings as well.
Yep.
With Amazon, everybody is talking about how this is just multiplier effect. When you get a conversion from offline onto Amazon, people are emailing their email lists and driving them away from their Shopify stores to Amazon
Mm-hmm.
to get the organic rocket ship that attribution is giving right now for low dollars. And then it's just making their PPC campaigns that much more effective. Their organic is going to be stickier when you get up the rankings. So there's a lot of side benefits. Any other comments on attribution or PPC? Because you're kind of a PPC wizard, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If I know anything about your background here.
I'll keep it quiet there. Yeah, I have some background with Amazon and the Google ads working my other job. But essentially, we've seen, especially driving traffic with blog posts and direct to Amazon listings. It depends on the industry that you're in. But we've seen some clients of ours generate a significant return. And even if it's a one-to-one, that's still a pretty positive thing because, like I said, if you're getting, spending $1 to get $1 in return, you go on, you get those sales from the Amazon. Amazon's rewarding that through the organic ranking, through everything that they're providing you. And then you're basically getting a lot more sales in the long term because Amazon rewards sales volume, not like keywords specifically, but the sales volume. And if you keep getting that momentum, they're going to push you up higher in ranking and they're going to reward more of it coming from Google to Amazon. But if you're getting that sales volume on the platform itself with that, it's like a full scale assault on ranking up and just generating a ton of sales. And you want that momentum more than anything. Everything's momentum on Amazon. You just got to keep getting it. And if you can find, an opportunity keyword, you can use something like Google's keyword planner if you decide to do this. And you can look for specific keywords. And they could just be like, I don't know, for example, a keyword like asthma. And you find that, oh, this keyword is 11 cents per click. Let me make a blog post on some natural ways to help with asthma or something like that. And then at the end of it, you could be like, oh, by the way, this is something that we recommend that's a quick and easy way to, you purchase this product, you use it consistently, you'll see some results in return. And you can follow the natural processes that we provided in the blog post, but then we also have a product that you can purchase that helps with that. And we've seen just with that, based on that small keyword, 11 cents per click, you're getting a lot of volume directly to the blog post. But then from those people, they're clicking on essentially Amazon's website as well because they want to purchase that product or they're considering it. And we've kind of realized that sometimes people, even if they don't purchase and they add to cart, sometimes they save it for later on Amazon. And they're like, oh, I'll purchase this when I get, my paycheck. And usually with the attribution links, they last about 2 weeks. So you still will probably get a credit if somebody keeps it and puts it in their little, in their shopping cart and doesn't purchase it just yet. They might purchase it, in the future, and then you get that attribution from it and you get the bonus from it and you get the ranking from it, and it really is that. It's just providing that value, driving traffic to Amazon, getting that sales volume on Amazon. And we've seen some incredible things happen just from implementing those strategies.
Yeah, we've seen people as newer brands to start to try to make their organic way through by just going with longer tail keywords or going with problem focused keywords versus feature focus. If you go for pre-workout for depression, that's probably a bad example, but something that's longer than just natural pre-workout, which could be very competitive, what you'll find is you get some longer tail keywords. There's less volume in them, but there's also an easier ability to drive traffic that way to try to win the organic ranking in the traffic volume in those sets. And then you start to go up and compete in the other sets that are bigger volumes, but more competitive. I think there's also, with that problem focused piece, I like how you're technically doing that, sending them to your blog post, because your blog post is addressing a problem each time. So you're finding a cheaper way to get the traffic in and get the value from it from an SEO standpoint. And then you're sending it through. You might lose a few people in those clicks through, but I think that the difference is it's so much cheaper than the feature clicks, going after those keywords that are feature focused like pre-workout, or for us, it's men's slim wallet at Forrest and Harold. Those are super competitive and therefore expensive. So that's good value add. Pivoting, looking at what's coming down the pipe for you, where do you see Reforged doing in the next 6 to 12 months to get to those next goals? What's the key North Star for Reforged?
So all in all, it's all about, working up towards that $1 million in revenue mark. And a lot of that has to do with that sales volume, like I mentioned, but we still have to get that brand awareness piece and building this brand experience overall. And ultimately, as we've seen, with, I guess you could call it new era entrepreneurship, it's a lot about providing value to the customer so they're raving fans and they keep coming back for more. So essentially what we've kind of noticed with our brand is while we have these guys coming in and they're raving fans as a result, we don't have enough eyes on it, on the brand itself. So we need to get that quick exposure in some way, shape, or form. Now we can go about if you have the capital, you can go about it in just a full scale approach of just spending on advertising, through Facebook, Google, all the platforms. You could do that. But one strategy that we want to really implement is an influencer strategy, and just looking out there and seeing an influencer or somebody that's like a community leader, similar to the message that we're spreading, and basically partner up with them. I know that a lot of people in the fitness space, they get these affiliate marketing, because before I started my brand, I was an affiliate marketer for a supplement brand as well. And I did it for a couple brands, but one of the brands really stood out in that they provided this whole entire experience of educating us on their products, educating us on how to work out and things like that. And, they educate us on, here are some common questions that the people that affiliate marketers are helping out. Here's are the common questions they ask, and here are some answers to basically attack them head on. And that basically made me, as an affiliate marketer, raving fan of their products, and I'm purchasing their products as an affiliate marketer, and then I'm also selling their products and just providing that whole experience. I wanted to really do that with our brand, to partner with somebody and really educate them on this whole experience and what we're trying to do, talk about our vision, make it a reality, and just really excite the people that we work with, because we want the people that support our brand to be raving fans of our brand. And if we can get that, I feel like this brand can explode, essentially. And when we look for affiliate marketers, they don't have to be like the most, with a fitness brand, you see a lot of jacked guys, just super ripped guys. I'm not looking for that. I'm more so looking for somebody that's a guy that's, was dealing with depression. They lost, 100, 200 pounds. They've been building this audience as a result of them documenting their journey. That's who I want to partner with. And maybe down the line, I might partner with the guy that was it's super ripped, but 10 years ago, they weren't, and they were dealing with the depression and stuff. And that, they have that whole entire story. I would rather partner with those guys with that message of exercising for mental health, and just working on that large scale is what we're trying to get out right now, and just really partner with the right people so that more eyes can come to our brand. Because I feel like a lot of that is the brand awareness piece. And if we're able to nurture that audience over time, we have those raving fans, and they usually say about 500 of those raving fans who purchase monthly. That's an 8-figure brand. So that's where we're working towards.
Yeah. 4 products, 25 sales per day, $30 per product as the price point, $1 million business. It's just a math problem. Ryan Moran talks about that all the time. We know him. He's a great guy. That oversimplifies it, but that's what it is. And I end up wearing this t-shirt every once in a while just to remind myself, that's all you got to do.
It really is that simple.
I really like that idea with the influencers. One thing I think that you could do as well with your brand, because I feel like you're making such a difference in your existing customers' lives, and you do such a good job of putting their concerns above even the product, right? Right now, that the ones that continue to come back and buy, you're going to eventually be able to turn those into testimonials. And that user-generated content is going to be gold to you. You won't need as many influencers as a brand that's not truly adding value to their customers. Because you're truly adding value to your customers, you're creating those raving fans. Those raving fans will come back to you. They'll give you the testimonials. If you haven't done it, I would challenge you to go out there and ask them and say, hey, I want to give a free product to somebody who has been, maybe we have on our email list, as an example, a really small segment of customers that have spent the most. We call it our top 5% list. It's a wicked small list because it's only top 5%. But I feel like if I'm in a pinch, the top 5% list is a list that I can go to and ask them anything and get a response. Maybe make it your top 10% if you haven't done it, and you'll end up whittling it down. Go to them and say, hey guys, I need a couple customer testimonials. You can either meet like this in like a Zoom recording and do it with them and talk to them, or you can just have them take their own selfie video or whatever. And it's just as simple as giving honest feedback. I will say the thing that I've been talking to other people about with our brand is just ramble. Just be like, all I want you to do is just ramble for 3 or 4 minutes if you can about the product, about your journey. We're not looking for it to be perfect. And you can go chop that video up and make it into what you want. Or you can put a few together, right? You'll find little nuggets from each of them that'll be the value that you're trying to bring out to the market. And I think you get a couple of those going and people are going to really resonate with that because you're actually doing it. You're doing a really good job with it.
Yeah. I hope you don't mind. I was taking notes because those are really good ideas. I'm going to be working on that probably this week, immediately tomorrow morning. So I'll be on that. That's a great idea. And it's all a matter of asking too, because, they're raving fans. They're buying from me regularly. Just a simple ask will definitely, especially, I get them to message me back and forth from time to time on social media. So a simple ask like that would provide so much value. And then plus you're showing them some love. You're tagging their own Instagram handles or social media handles. And it's overall a great community building experience overall. So.
Exactly. And I'm going to be trying out the product myself too and giving my own review of it and posting that on YouTube. And you can feel free to use that as well.
I appreciate
to
that.
Tell the world about it because I have a little bit of experience with using products and I'll give my honest feedback. And I'm going to push it out actually to my list because Force and Herald targets modern men, right?
Mm-hmm.
These dads out there working on raising their families right. And I'm sure there's plenty of dads out there that are working hard and struggling and maybe not feeling the love or running into just work being tough, all of that stuff.
Definitely.
And I can't wait to give them an opportunity to use your product and to talk about it and maybe even join your community. So I'm super excited about that. Tell everybody again, what's the best thing that we can do as a community, as a tap market community for you right now? Is it buying the product on Amazon? Is it joining the community? Where would we do that? Give us the sort of call to action here.
So, you're more than welcome to buy the product on Amazon. If you go to amazon.com/reforged, we have our products directly on that storefront there on Amazon. But ultimately, I would love for you guys to just hop on over to our email list. That's where I provide the most value, and I provide as much as I possibly can. In that email list, I have my links to the social media handles. I have a resources page with all the blog posts of just helping people exercise out of depression. Essentially, we basically focus on what I call the pillars of well-being, which are exercise, nutrition, and sleep. And I have content for all three of those and how they work synergistically with one another. So going on to, if you go to livereforged.com/liftyourmood, we have an email opt-in that you can get your free ebook series and then a course that we have that's like a 30-day morning routine course for using exercise to lift your mood essentially. And then I also am going to be sending out a video that I just recently made. It was essentially a masterclass on exercising out of depression. And a lot of what I talked about in it is how it works, why to do it, how to start. I talked a lot about internal and external motivation. I talked about a lot of things. It's an entire hour call, and I'm going to be basically compiling that into a YouTube video, and I'll just use it as basically if you opt in, I'll send it via email. You guys can just click on it, take as much notes as you can. I'll have it time-stamped, everything, simplify the process. And then if it really benefits you guys, show some love, let me know. I would love to give you guys shout outs. If you support the brand, you don't have to purchase the products, but if you do, that means a lot to me. If you purchase the products, leave reviews. I try to shout out as many people as I possibly can on my email list. So I appreciate that. And yeah.
That's great. I look forward to also having you back here. There's a community that we're in together that is sort of entrepreneurial. And there's a small group of this cohort that has been on Tapped Market, the podcast here. And I'm following along brands as they continue to grow. And you've got yourself here on the journey with your products and with your community. And I look forward to being a part of the next launches that you make and sending some of our customers from our brands your way. So, Tony, much appreciated to have you here. Looking forward to talking some more and reviewing the product myself. Thank you.
I appreciate you, Troy. Thank you for having me. Much love to you guys. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. See ya.
Take care.
Hi there. If you found this podcast helpful, I would appreciate it if you took a minute to leave a review. This increases the reach to more entrepreneurs and other people interested in the products, brands, entrepreneurial stories, and their successes, so we can create even more positive small business outcomes. Take a screenshot, tag me in your social stories to friends. This means the world to me to know this podcast has influenced your day and life in a positive way, and that we get to be a part of your own journey. With gratitude from me, until next time, go make it a great day.